Anthem by Pennington's own In Touch.
Have fun, guys.
Am I going to hear you?
And welcome to Pennington, New Jersey, here in Pennington High School as the Pennington Red Raiders are getting ready to take on the Blair Academy Bucks. Tim Califano alongside Chandler Frazier Pauls making his broadcasting debut here on Play by Play Sports Network. This is the NJISAA Prep A State Championship for girls soccer. And of course, a lot is on the line. Pennington has been here many times before. They have won 13 titles in Prep A since 1994, most recently winning it last year. And of course, they have a lot of momentum coming into this game. Blair, on the other hand, though, a very good team, 9-4 on the year, whereas Pennington is 16-2. And Chandler, you know, when you look at both of these two teams, these are two very good teams. Pennington did beat Blair early on this year in late September, 7-1, but we're expecting a very good game this afternoon.
Absolutely. I think both teams are in different places than they were in September, so it'll be interesting to see how they come out today and take each other on. Excited. Happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
It's happy to have you here. Pennington, of course, will be in the black uniforms. They'll be in the black home uniforms with red lettering and white trim, whereas Blair is in their away white uniforms with blue lettering and blue trim around those uniforms. Blair is coached by head coach David Kalush-Bili, as Pennington is coached by Bill Hawkey in his 32nd season. Pennington now trots on the field again in their black uniforms. 16-2-1 this year. Certainly have played incredibly well this season, and they're looking to try to get yet another championship to their credit.
Coming off a Mercer County win about a week ago as well. So
And, of course, Blair coming off of a win against Oak Knolls, 2-1, where they advanced to the state championship.
Beautiful day for some soccer.
So who's going to be the key for both of these two teams?
You know, I think Kylie Daigle in the center midfield for Pennington. She's a sophomore committed to Villanova. She's a lefty. She's crafty. And she is an exceptional player and is fun to watch at the same time.
So just a couple of minutes before we get things started here, again from Pennington High School. On a beautifully balmy November day. Unseasonably warm, temperatures in the 60s, no rain in the area, so we won't have that as a factor. Pennington will have the ball first. Standing at the midfield line is Ellie Hawkey, the daughter of head coach Bill Hawkey. As we are underway, Pennington going right to left on your TV screen. Blair, though, going to try to get some offensive prowess in the first couple of minutes. Controlling it now, Kara Cafferty. Now moving into Blair territory. Now Blair will push it back into Pennington's own territory. And this is a team in Pennington that moves the ball very quickly. They can score very fast. Here is Kelly Collins with a shot on goal, very weak. And it'll be taken by Emma Nolan, who has 54 saves this season for Blair. 9 saves against that game that I mentioned that got them to the state championship against Oak Knolls just a few days ago.
It'll be interesting to see Pennington against Petty. They struggle to finish, so we'll see if they can put some chances away here early.
Yeah, Pennington only beat Petty by 1 point, 1-0 to advance to the Prep A finals.
There's Kylie Daigle.
Ellie Hawkey now leads it up ahead for one of her teammates in the corner. That is Jaden Avery, one of the team captains. Ball will roll out of play, and it'll go back to Blair with Nolan, who will boot it away shortly. Jaden Avery, one of the players that we'll be talking about most likely very often for Pennington this afternoon. One of the team captains. She's a St. Joe's commit. And she's very fast.
Very fast.
She's controlling it now on the near side of the field, inside Blair territory. Flags go up, ball goes out of play, back to Pennington. So Avery will inbound. Gets it into Sydney Gibbard. Now here's Kylie Daigle. One of the starters, also has had a very successful year, 12 goals. Feed inside to Daigle, and it's booted away out of bounds. Nice defense there by Blair. Essie Pasternak there, booting the ball away. Ball still on this end of the field, inside Blair territory, as we have about 2.5 minutes gone by here in the opening period. Kathleen Delvin over to her teammate Ashlyn Alice. Ball goes out of play just underneath us here, and Pennington will get it back. So early on here, we're not really seeing too much aggression, although Pennington has had control of the ball for the majority of these opening minutes.
Definitely both teams settling in here, feeling each other out.
Pennington, one of the preeminent high school soccer teams in the state of New Jersey. I mentioned the stat ago. They have 13 titles since 1994. All of them, of course, were under Bill Hawkey in his 32nd season now with the Red Raiders. As now here comes Blair into Pennington territory. Nice defense, though, by Kiara Cafferty, taking the ball away. Now Pennington tries to go back on the attack, moving right to left. So Blair looks like they may have an opportunity here to try to strike. Ashlyn Alice Now moving her way. Shot is deflected and will go out of play. And remain here with Blair, and Blair will try to kick it in from the corner. So an opportunity here to try to get some points on the board if you're Blair. Going to retrieve the loose ball. Back in where the woods are. We are right behind where a train track is, so if you hear that go by at some point in the first or second halves, you will understand why. And teeing it up from the corner will be Kiara Henry. I'm sorry, actually that's Rebecca.
It's a great ball. Oh.
Rosenblain, and it's nice save on goal there by Pennington. Sofia Kavulich now has got 89 saves so far this season, as Blair not able to get that corner kick to go in.
So Sofia Kavulich is a former field player who's turned into a goalie this year, and she has done fantastic for Pennington.
Kelly Collins had a little bit of a step on the defender, but now it's booted back into Pennington territory by Nolan. Liz McGinnons battling with it with Nikki Wisniewski.
Great
now,
hustle.
On the far left side of the field, this is Jaden Avery again controlling it. Now over to her teammate Kylie Daigle. Daigle shot on goal a little bit high. And we'll go back to Blair. Daigle's a pretty key player on offense for Pennington.
Oh, absolutely. Everything runs through her. She creates, she finishes, you know, she's a special player. Only a sophomore too, so she'll be around for a few more years.
The midfielder from Pennington, New Jersey, as you heard Chandler mention, a sophomore player.
I think where Blair is going to, you know, be most successful is on set pieces, as we saw in the corner kick earlier. So if Pennington can avoid giving them those, then we'll see what happens.
And that was something actually that head coach David Malush-Kalush-Vili in his first season for Blair was actually working on with his players, actually physically working on with his players before the game in that very corner on the opposite end of the field.
Absolutely. Set pieces in soccer win you some games. It's a nice searching ball.
Up ahead, but nice play on made out of bounds. Kicking it away was Gianna Lucchese.
Another one of the mainstays of our defense, Gianna Lucchese, committed to Richmond. She's a key player back there for us.
Here is Lucchese again, trying to get away from Blair and push it into their own territory. Bevy DaCosta there for the Bucks, trying to control the ball. It's taken away, though, by Daigle.
That's exactly what I'd be nervous about if I was Blair. The ball's over top to Jaden Avery. Here she is.
Feed inside to Avery. Shot on goal, a little bit wide to the left. But a clean look there for Avery. And we can already see how quickly Pennington can move the ball up the field and possibly get a shot to take a shot on goal.
Absolutely. If I'm Blair, I don't let Kylie Daigle turn in the midfield, right, and send those through balls to Jaden Avery. That's where she gets very dangerous.
Daigle, the star player, has 15 goals. Many were in game winners. And she is a team captain. Booting it away, Emma Nolan for Blair.
Seems as if Blair's high pressing up. See how they can handle it, and there's a giveaway.
Right here in front, Liv Miles, a shot on goal. Nice save made by Kavulich.
Liv Miles, also a outstanding basketball player at Blair Academy.
She'll come out of the game, and coming in for her will be Kara Henry for Blair. Actually, no, she won't come out. She just comes out for a quick drink of water, then she'll come back in. It was Henry that was giving her the drink. So again, no score here early on. Here in Pennington for the NJISAA Prep A State Championship for girls soccer. Pennington, the reigning champions.
Oh, great ball.
Feed inside, taken away. Nice defense there by Blair Academy, but almost getting a shot on goal. There was Kelly Collins. And now Blair trying to turn the momentum the other way, and now head up the field with Alice.
Alice is a dangerous player.
Feed inside once again up to Miles. Miles doesn't really have the numbers. And Making a nice play and taking it away from Miles was Jordan Mahoney.
After watching this Pennington team play many times, feels like we're on our heels a little bit here. Blair's doing a great job high pressing.
And so far, the majority of the play this afternoon has been inside Blair territory. Pennington has done a nice job securing up their end. Casey giving it over to Kiera Cafferty. Ball will go out of play near midfield, as it'll stay with the Red Raiders.
After watching Petty against Pennington earlier this week, I was interested to see how Blair played, if they played as defensively as Petty. But it seems like they're attacking, they're pushing numbers forward. They're off to an impressive start here, 15 minutes in, or 10 minutes in.
Ball has popped up, being fought for inside Pennington territory. There's again Liv Miles there right in the center of things, as Pennington trying to keep the ball away from her. And now Pennington's got some room moving up the field.
Kelly Collins, another very dangerous attacking player for Pennington.
Collins will try to maintain it in play.
And she does.
Looks like she did.
Oh.
I think she was expecting a whistle, and she finally got a late whistle there from the official. But it will stay Pennington ball, and it'll be Collins that will inbound. Actually, no, one of the other Pennington players will come over and inbound the ball.
A lot of subs there for Pennington. It's a line change. Number 6 there with the ball right here. Stephanie Blair, now freshman, has really come on. But not a great giveaway there.
It's taken away by Blair, and now going into the opposite end of the territory come the Bucks. Nice defensive play made as Casey just kicks it out of play, allowing her team to get back on defense and reset.
It looks as if Blair is targeting those balls over top to Olivia Miles as well.
So here is Miles again. Inbounds to Gross-Seibel, and once again, ball goes out of play, and this time goes near the railroad tracks. I don't think we're going to get that ball back.
I'll be the one going to get it later.
It's still Blair ball here, inside Pennington territory, about 12 minutes into this first half. Inbound to Alice. Alice loses it out of play, and it'll be Pennington ball.
I'm wondering here if Pennington's a little frustrated with the start and how they respond to that. You know, these championship games, nerves come out a little bit. See how they handle that.
Yeah, I had mentioned early on in the broadcast that Pennington had beat Blair 7-1 on September 26th, but so far Blair has been able to hold pretty steady, and their defense has been pretty stout.
Absolutely. Oh, that's a great ball.
Could change here as now the feed is up to Avery. Avery now on the far left side of the field. Being defended by Pasternak. Now inside. Shot. Hawkey. Thought about taking a shot. Now she gets it back out to Avery. Ball goes out of play, and it will go back to Blair. So that's another time now that Avery has had the ball in position right on that near far side of the field to take a shot, but has not been able to execute.
Absolutely. I'm very impressed with how Blair has come out and responded here. It's not easy to come to Pennington, you know, and play after their original defeat earlier this year, so a pretty impressive start for them.
So once again, Emma Nolan will be booting it away. Tries to get up to one of her players. It's intercepted and taken away by Kylie Daigle. And now here comes Pennington back on the attack in Blair territory. Feed looking for Molly Gibbard, a little bit too high for her. However, you have to give Pennington credit. They are definitely trying, and they have had a couple of plays that just haven't quite worked out. The timing has not been there, but you can see that of what the team is capable of because they certainly have the weapons there to do so. Absolutely.
They've started out a little slow, but you know, all it takes is that one connecting pass, and things can get going on the right foot.
Jaden Avery comes out of the game for Pennington, one of the players that we were just talking about, so she's now on the bench. Now we have a foul here at around the 35-yard line. Pennington will get the ball back.
Quick restart.
Now here's Gibbard. As Pennington just trying to swing the ball around here inside Blair territory.
I think for as much as Pennington is trying to hit those through balls and getting behind the defense, I think keeping possession is key to kind of calm them down at this point. Get settled in here, so it's good to see them keeping it. Good.
Hockey now back out towards the midline with Jenna Blooney. Now here's Daigle. Center field. Kicks it out to Gibbard.
Great combination play. Oh, ref in the way there.
Stephanie Balerna had an opportunity to try to shoot, but the official was in the way, and now Blair looks like they may be able to come away with this possession. Nope, not quite. Still in Blair territory. Pennington spreads the field very well and is able to keep the ball on this end of the field.
Absolutely, they use their width.
Feed up to Daigle, and a nice play made by Emma Nolan, who anticipated that.
Great read by the keeper.
Blair's not out of this just yet, though.
She's dangerous.
This is Alice now controlling it. Up ahead to Grosseibel. There are two Grosseibel sisters, Melissa and Becca, on the field for Blair rather. This is Becca Grosseibel. Takes a shot way off the mark towards the right. And they'll go back to Pennington. So, lining off for the kick will be Sofia Kavulich.
They trust her to play through her back there. She's great with her feet as well. You can see the field player in her there.
Now up ahead to Sydney Gibbard. Ellie Hawking now tries to get it back to Gibbard, taken away.
In my opinion, Pennington is trying to play too direct right now. I would get the ball down on the ground, keep it. You know, if they keep possession, they're going to find gaps. Use the width of this field. Well done.
Molly Gibbard now, right underneath us.
Great overlapping run.
Feed over to Molly Gibbard now. Molly Gibbard now center field. Being defended by Essie Pasternak. Gibbard couldn't handle the pass, and now here comes Blair the other way. Move it inside Pennington territory. Feed up ahead to Alice. Alice couldn't quite handle it. One-on-one. She might have an opportunity here. Now two-on-one. She's tripped up. No call, and Pennington's going to be able to scoop it up in the backfield.
Tim, that might have been a PK there. That was a dangerous tackle by Pennington center back.
The officials let them play. Pennington may have caught a break there. Now here come the Red Raiders the other way.
It's clear that Blair's best chances here are on counterattacks like this off turnovers.
Ball goes out of play into the Blair bench. Trying to save it from going out of play was Melissa Grosseibel.
Wish we had an instant replay of that play in the box there.
And now she will inbound right in front of David Mamouche Kalushvili. Nice opportunity there with an open look was Emily Mooney, but was not able to do anything with it after a nice inbounds pass.
Not an easy ball to bring down there, but if her teammates tell her time, right, bring it down, take your time, get a shot on goal there.
Grosseibel. Now here's Molly Gibbard. Ahead to Ely Hawkey. Now back to Gibbard. Gibbard might be a little bit too far away to make a play on this. She will save it. Being defended very closely by Nancy DeFore. Intercepted. Will stay here on this end. Rolling out of play. Back to Blair.
Having never seen this Blair team play before, I'm very impressed with them. They believe today. They definitely believe.
They went 3-11 last year, 9-4 this year, so they've definitely flipped things around with New Year head coach Mamouche Kalushvili.
Yeah, not easy to do.
Some tough playing here at midfield as Blair will still hold on to the ball, and this time they will inbound it with Ashlyn Alice, giving it off to Pasternak. So we're approaching the halfway point of the first half. Again, no score here at Pennington. Tim Kettlefemo alongside Chandler Frazier Pauls here on Play-by-Play Sports Network. For the Prep A State Championship for girls soccer, Pennington is the reigning champion from last season. They're looking to try to add another state title to their already very impressive resume. Diving for it out of bounds near their own bench for Blair was Alice, trying to make a play. And both teams have had ample opportunities to try to get a couple of clean looks at the net, but nothing has worked out as far as the timing has been concerned, trying to make those plays work out as Mamouche Kalushvili has a word with one of the officials.
I think he's still upset over that PK call.
He might be.
Or non-PK call, should I say. Set to check in here is Olivia Miles, who I think is very dangerous up front for Blair. And Jaden Avery back in the game. Oh.
Feet up ahead. This is Molly Gibbert. I'm sorry, actually this is Ellie Hawkey. Hawkey with a feed, trying to time it with Gibbert, and Gibbert was just a little bit late getting there on the roll out of play. But again, nice ball movement and nice eyes for Hawkey, realizing that Gibbert was going the other direction towards the goal.
Absolutely. Great thought. You know, after the Petty game, I know this team is frustrated with how they finished, and I'm wondering if that's having some lingering effects here. You know, it can get psychological for you for finishing goals.
Bunch of substitutions for both teams. And booting away again, Nolan. It's popped up. Here the ball is Miles for Blair. And now Pennington controls. Pennington has definitely had, I know that in soccer you don't necessarily look at time of possession, but they've certainly been controlling the ball for the majority of the first half.
Absolutely. Blair's chances have come from counterattacks, but Pennington has done a great job building and looking for that through ball, and it's nearly worked a few times. It's that last pass and that last finish that has not, you know, come together yet. Keyword yet.
They have had a couple of opportunities. Here's Daigle. She was looking for Avery, and now it's taken away by the Bucks. Controlling it now, Emily Mooney.
The issue with Blair is when they win that ball in the midfield, right? They need an outlet to someone to get that ball to instead of just kicking it.
Collins once again tried to feed it for Avery.
Good idea.
Feed inside again for Avery, taken away by the Bucks. But the problem with Blair is every time they take it away, they can't quite get it into Pennington territory.
Absolutely.
Pennington does such a good job on the back end of keeping the ball on this end of the field.
Absolutely. They swarm and they win the ball back immediately, keep it in their end. You have to think Blair's getting tired of defending at this point. Pennington is putting numbers forward. They're leaving really their two center backs 2-on-2 with the two forwards for Blair. So they trust their center backs to defend.
Low Casey. Feed up ahead to McGrath. Now here's a shot. Trying to time it with one of her teammates. That was Gibber's shot on goal for Avery is a little bit wide to the left. I think it was deflected.
It was deflected, yes. Great deflection.
Deflected to the right, I should say, not to the left. Another feed towards Avery. This time is deflected again.
Great step. And here's the counter.
And here come the Bucks now with some numbers.
And she's in.
Feed up ahead to Miles. Miles very dangerous. She'll have an open look. If she takes it, she shoots, and it is scored!
Wow.
Liv Miles knocking it through. She had a clean look, and now Blair goes up 1-0.
What a finish there by Liv Miles. To the left, upper 90. As you can see, Blair's counterattacks, as we talked about. They win the ball, throw numbers forward, and catch Pennington. Their numbers are forward. Wow.
So a 1-0 lead now for Blair.
How does Pennington respond?
Well, we'll see. They have it on the left side of the field, deep inside Blair territory. Another shot, this time a little bit wide, and a nice save made by Emma Nolan.
Can't say enough about Liv Miles and the runs she's making. She came from about 10 yards back there, outrun the left back for Pennington, and just with a clinical finish.
Feet up ahead, looking for Collins. Collins defended very tightly there by Williard. And it'll roll out of play, but it'll stay here on this end of the field with Pennington.
We were talking about Blair believing before. Now, you know that belief is twofold, doubled.
Well, they may have had some extra redemption. Of course, we talked about the missed penalty kick that Blair probably should have had when there was some contact on the other end of the field early on in the first half. They have a 1-0 lead. The corner kick, feed inside for Daigle. Nice job by Blair.
Blair keepers played great. She's read through balls, played great on set pieces. She's having a great game so far.
Emma Nolan has played incredibly well as the goalie. She had a paw on him along with a couple of the other Blair defenders clogging up that center.
And here's another counter.
And now here come the Bucks the other way with Mooney. Mooney doesn't quite have the numbers. She'll be looking for Miles if she can get it to her. And now Mooney has the ball taken away from her by Mahoney.
Mooney and Miles up top for Blair are very fast, and that's key when you're playing counterattack style of soccer. You need to have fast forwards, and those two, they fit the bill.
So here is Becca Gross-Seibel.
You know, it's funny in soccer, we were just talking about how Pennington has kept possession, right? But the scoreboard, right? That's all that matters right now. It's frustrating, but amazing part of soccer. You can control the game, but Blair's done a great job picking their spots and going forward with it.
Kelly Collins. Avery is there. She's double teamed. She's got the ball. Flags go up, and I think Pennington may have been offside, so they'll give the ball back to Blair.
I'm interested to see at halftime whether Coach Hawkey and Coach Murphy kind of throw another, outside back instead of throwing them forward so much, because they are leaving them their center backs on an island if they're two forwards, and that's obviously been tough to deal with here in the beginning.
So Emma Nolan will again boot it away for Blair, up 1-0 as we're closing in on 14 minutes left here in the first half. Daigle up ahead to Collins.
Great ball.
Nice defense, though, there by Williard, knocking it away. It'll stay here with Pennington, but again, that's really been the nemesis for Pennington this afternoon. They've had nice feeds inside, but Blair, even though it always hasn't been pretty, they've been doing a nice job shoring up that defense.
Absolutely. At the last second, they've deflected, got their toe in there, and that's all that matters.
Wide shot their way off to the left. Will roll out of play. It was Stephanie Balerna.
Here comes Mooney. She's getting subbed off for Blair. She had a great first part of this first half.
Yep, so Emily Mooney will come out. Coming in for her is Ashlyn Alice, number 33, in white for Blair.
And she's been very dangerous as well, so they just kind of rotate weapons as of right now.
Battling forward in the corner is Williard along with Collins.
Williard and Collins have been going at it.
I know, yeah.
It's a nice battle.
They have been man-on-man all first half. Very tight defense between those two. Throwing it in from the corner. That is, again, Avery.
Oh.
Daigle tried to take a look and had it partially deflected and taken away from her.
And here goes the counter.
Here
they don't really know any numbers, though.
Miles just trying to keep it in possession of Blair as Pennington now will drop back into their defensive zone.
Don't let Kylie Daigle turn. She has turned.
Daigle with the feed up to Wisniewski. Back to Collins near the left corner. Was looking for Avery. Avery's got it. Shot. Actually, I think that was a pass instead. Now here is Daigle. Daigle, a high shot. It's off the end of the post. No good.
That's it. Those balls, those crossing balls, fall right to the top of the 18, and Kylie Daigle, that's where she sits. She catches those off the bounce and puts them away usually.
Daigle with a nice look from the center field. Just a little bit too high. Nolan, though, was waiting for it and was ready. Pennington, though, still in control. Down 1-0 with now 11 minutes left here in the first half.
I sense a tad bit of frustration from Pennington out there.
Well, I have to imagine that you'd be frustrated because, again, this is a team that you know early on in the season you beat 7-1. You come in here winning 8 games in a row. If you're Pennington, you feel like you've got some momentum, and so far it just hasn't quite worked out in this first half.
Yeah, and you couple that with, you know, they've as we've said, they've kind of controlled the flow of the game, but still, you look up the scoreboard down 1-0, so it's understandable the frustration. But this is the time, right, when you have to calm down, just trust the game, right? Keep playing how you've played these last 8 games, and it'll break through. But Blair, they've done a great job defending, selling out on the defensive end, and then picking their chances to counter. And here we go again.
Once again, Miles with Alice. Miles not able to keep in control. She was about triple teamed there.
Yeah. It seems as if Pennington might be leaving one of their outside backs back more now, just after they've been called a couple times. Oh, and she's in.
Feed up ahead to Avery, and Pennington looks like they were offsides. So Avery had a clean look, but it wouldn't have mattered anyway. It's the second time that we've seen Pennington be called for that.
Got a nice crowd out here today.
Yeah.
Built up over this first half.
Beautiful weather. As I mentioned at the beginning of the broadcast, temperatures in the 60s. Mild for this time of the year in early November.
Feels like spring.
Yes. As now we have a bunch of players getting ready to check in. 2 for Pennington, 1 for Blair. As coming out, S.C. Pasternak for the Bucks. Kylie Daigle and Sydney Gibbard also checking out for Pennington.
If you're Blair here now, do you keep, you know, I think it's key getting out of this half 1-0. So do you keep pushing forward? Do you take less chances going forward? You know, that's a decision you have to make because I think it's very important to go in 1-0 here.
Well, certainly you'd want to try to shorten the game, especially with how dangerous Pennington can be.
Absolutely.
Here's Tyrendi.
Now they're sending their outside backs. Pennington does a great job of attacking with their outside backs.
Ellie Hawkey guarded and defended very closely by Hannah Starr and Pinsky.
Oh, great ball.
Feed inside to Collins. Collins defended once again tightly by Williard, and the ball once again will roll out of play. So Maggie Williard has been playing incredibly well. One of the defenders there, junior from Blairstown, New Jersey, for the Bucks. She has been right on Kelly Collins all afternoon so far, and really has not allowed Collins to do anything every time she gets the ball.
Absolutely. She's done a great job, and the biggest thing she's doing is playing without fouling, right? She hasn't given up any fouls. She's won a lot of throw-ins. She's doing a great job using her body and playing physical without fouling. Because Kelly Collins is a very, very physical player as well, hardworking. So it's a great battle, but Williard is doing a great job.
So under 8 minutes left here in the first half. As the ball goes out of play and catching it right on the sidelines right beneath us was Bill Hawkey, the head coach. Yeah,
headmaster Bill Hawkey.
32nd season, has had a very successful tenure here at Pennington. Don't think he's, though, quite happy about his first half performance with his team as Miles trying to control it for Blair.
And there it is, a searching ball.
Feed up ahead to Grosseibel. Melissa Grosseibel, that is. 2 Grosseibel sisters, as I mentioned, on the field, sometimes at one time for the Bucks. Blair with a 1-0 lead.
Blair's definitely sitting back behind the ball more so now with these last 7 or so minutes. I think that's smart. Want to keep everything in front of you. Great job. there, I think you want to get it if you're number 5 and turn the other way, go out the other way. She received the ball, tried to come back the same way. Let's get out of traffic, right? Get out the other way, switch the field.
That was Nikki Wisniewski for Pennington, not on the same page with her teammate.
Oh.
As Blair continues to try to push it into Pennington territory, but they haven't had much success.
And you know, these free kicks they keep giving up, right? It's wasting time. It's allowing Blair to catch their breath. That's a foul that's unnecessary there.
So kicking it off right beneath us is Megan Donaghy. Not able to get it to Ashlyn Alice, and now here comes Pennington, or maybe not. Blair once again doing a very nice job defensively as they've really shorn that up in the last 10 or 15 minutes.
It's a great switch.
Now
Kira Cafferty is very dangerous going forward.
Cafferty with a shot, deflected. Ball still in play as Becca Grosseibel will boot it back near the midfield line for Pennington as they have to try to reset here. Hawkey, a feed, attempted feed inside there once again for Avery. Not on the same page, and it rolls out of play.
It's that last ball. I think Pennington is trying to funnel down the middle a little too much here. Get it wide, get some crosses in. Last time they crossed in and it fell to Kylie Daigle at the top of the box. It was almost in the back of the net. I think, you know, too direct at some point.
Yeah, Chandler, Pennington's had very good ball movement, but as you said, it seems to be that one last pass when they have someone set up that's going to take that shot on goal that can never quite seem to get the ball at the right moment.
It's a frustrating thing, but all you can do is keep pushing there.
Shaylin.
Great ball.
Trirendi now taking it away by Blair, and up ahead, here comes Alice. Under 5 minutes left here in the first half. Nice defense there, taking it away. That was Hawkey. And now here comes Blair the other way, or excuse me, Pennington the other way, trying to put some numbers on the board as we're approaching now 4 minutes left here in the first half.
Blair has shown great discipline with their defensive center, their mids, their outside backs of staying home, right? Not getting sucked forward and getting caught in a counterattack. They've kept their shape, and they've really been disciplined in what they've done.
And Emma Nolan will take her time booting it away. Again, Blair in no hurry here with a 1-0 lead. Taken around the midfield line by Alice. Again, Pennington in the black jerseys, whereas Blair, the Bucks, are in the white. This is the first Prep A final for the Blair Bucks since 2012. They're trying to make use of this opportunity. Avery in the far corner, shot a little bit wide, but nonetheless nice play to try to set up. I believe she was looking for Sydney Gibbard, who was inside the box, but not able to convert there once again.
That final ball, that almost went in, though.
Yes. Nice shot by Avery.
Absolutely. And sometimes when you cross it, right, you never know where it's going to go.
You never know, yeah.
So just put it in there and hope that, you know, that thing ends up in the back of the net. You can feel the intensity amping up here in these last 3 minutes, the first half. And that's what Blair's coach is yelling, 3 minutes, right? Finish the half. No letdowns now.
Yeah, if you're Blair, you certainly don't want to give up a score this late in the first half.
I've been very impressed with their right back, Williard. She kicks it out of bounds.
Yeah. Well, Maggie Williard, not so much on that play, but has played very well defensively, especially guarding Kelly Collins, one of the forwards for Pennington, who's had the ball in positions to possibly score, but has never quite been able to do that because she's been guarded so well. As we're now approaching 2 minutes left here in this opening half.
Oh.
Feet up ahead. Hawkey.
Wow.
Nice play there by Nolan. Ball still in Pennington territory. 2 minutes now left exactly here in the first half.
Pennington's pushing to try to get one here.
Yeah, I agree, Chandler. You can definitely feel the intensity starting to ramp up here in these closing minutes.
McGrath.
I think Pennington also hasn't realized how much time they have when they receive the ball. As Ellie Hawkey just did, you can turn, face up, see the field. Or they're very quick to get it off their feet, and there's nothing wrong with playing quick. But if you have the room there, especially in the attacking third, take your time. That's Blair's fine with that right now. With 1:30. They're all sitting behind the ball. Olivia Miles has worked hard up there. She's covered a lot of ground.
12 goals this year for Miles. She has the only point that Blair has in this first half. That came at the 25-minute mark. Gafferty not able to move it in the right direction there for Pennington, as now we're under a minute left to play here in the first half. Sydney Gibbard was waiting for that pass, but Emma Nolan came out of her own goal towards the box to make that play.
It's obviously been a point of emphasis for Blair and their keeper, you know, to read those through balls and be quick off her line. She's done a great job of that.
Casey. Now to Sydney Gibbard.
Well done. Great read by Williard.
Again, another defensive play, and that will add another 10 seconds, most likely, that Pennington can't use here. As we're under 30 seconds now to play. Now make it 15. In the corner, Willard again. Very tight defense. 6 seconds left. Miles just going to try to just boot it away and let the clock run out. And it will. So at the end of one half of play, Blair, who lost to Pennington early this September, earlier in the season 7-1, leads Pennington 1-0 at the end of one half of play. And Chandler, I got to imagine that you're pretty stoked if you're Blair, but if you're Pennington, you have to feel a little bit disappointed because you had so many opportunities that you kind of leave on the table, and now here you are. You're missing one half of play with no score.
Pennington is frustrated, and that is clear. All you can do there is just keep pushing. But Blair's done a great job. They obviously came in with the game plan. They've been disciplined with it, and they've executed. It's been pretty impressive to watch. We'll see what Pennington can change up and bring the second half.
So we'll see what Pennington can do in the second half. They are down 1-0 here in the NJISAA Prep A State Championship for girls soccer. The Blair Bucks, they lead 1-0. We'll be back for the second half of play here on Play by Play Sports Network after this. And we're back here in Pennington for the second half of the NJISAA Prep A State Championship for girls soccer. Tim Kettlefemo alongside Chandler Frazier-Pauls here on Play-by-Play Sports Network. Blair leads 1-0 as we get ready to start the second half of play. And Chandler, we talked about at the end of the first half, Blair, I think, feels pretty good that they have a 1-0 lead, but you can bet Pennington is certainly frustrated, and I think that intensity will come out in the second half. I
was down there at halftime, and I know that both teams are fired up for different reasons right now, and it's going to be an interesting start to the second half. I think we'll be able to tell a lot about both teams here in the first 5-10 minutes, see what kind of mindset they have and how the second half is going to go.
Teams switch fields. Pennington will be going left to right on your TV screen, again in the black uniforms with red lettering, whereas Blair will be going now right to left on your TV in the white and blue uniforms. The only goal in the first half was scored by Liv Miles, the midfielder sophomore from Phillipsburg. Had 12 goals this year, now make it 13, of course, with the one goal that she scored at the 25-minute mark. She was dangerous. We talked about her at the beginning of the game, and certainly she proved that. But now Pennington looking to try to get a quick score here and even things out. Early on here in the second half, that possession's not going to do it as it rolls out of play. That was Daigle there trying to control it and get it in, I believe, to Gibbard.
If I'm Pennington, I'm taking some shots from 20 yards out, 25 yards out. Test the keeper. They have been pushing forward and creating chances, but have they really gotten any shots on goal and tested this keeper? I have not seen that. So, I'm not, if I'm Pennington, I'm not afraid to pull the trigger out there.
Blair trying to move in the Pennington territory near midfield. That was Ashlyn Alice trying to go for that ball. Not able to get possession of it for Blair, and it's something that we talked about, Chandler, in the first half. You don't really keep time of possession in soccer, but Pennington has held on to the ball for the majority of this game. The difference is they just have not quite been able to execute when they've had positions to score.
Yeah, it's been that last final ball, whether it's a cross, it's a finish, and here goes Blair countering again.
Here's Becca Groseibel. Groseibel with a shot, and it's a nice save made by Kavulich.
Pennington uncharacteristically has given away some from their center backs, outside backs that I have not seen, this year. Blair's done a great job capitalizing on those and creating chances.
Kavulich tried to get into one of her teammates at midfield, but once again, here is Rebecca Groseibel. Crossfield pass to Williard. It's Pennington trying to play defense here and keep it away from Blair with a 1-0 lead. 2.5 minutes into the second half.
There it is.
Feed up ahead to Gibbard. Gibbard's got it now, looking for Avery. Avery double teamed, has a clear lane, takes a shot on goal, and she scores! Jaden Avery knots up the score 1-1, and Pennington answers right back here early on in the second half.
Pennington kept knocking on the door, and the door finally fell down. Gonna be a great 37 minutes here at Tom Law's field.
So we're all tied up at 1. Jaden Avery had 15 goals this year. She's very fast. That was a play that she was working on for the majority of the first half, Chandler, but could never quite get the time or never quite get the ball at the right time. But that time it worked out very well, and Pennington has now knotted up the score 1-0.
Fell to her feet, calm, cool, and collected. Finished that left-hand corner up there on that side of the net. She's had 2 great finishes.
So tied up here at 1. After that score by the senior leader from Trent, New Jersey, Jaden Avery. And now if you're Blair, you can't get too flustered by this because you certainly have a great opportunity here. You don't want to let the game get away.
Yeah, I mean, you have no time to think about it, right? You just respond, gather yourselves, and get back to it.
Going back to collect the ball is Emma Nolan in the neon green. Punts it back into Pennington territory. And tied up here at 1, 5 minutes into the second half. Pennington, though, taking a lot less of an aggressive approach now that they've tied the game up, at least from what I'm looking at, as opposed to the first half where they were really trying to push the ball into Blair territory.
Yeah, I think they've settled in and are trying to play a little more possession. Get a few passes, get comfortable, switch the field a few times, and then attack, which I think is helping them. They were very direct in that first half. And Blair here is they're on their heels. Great ball.
Daigle with a feed towards the goal. A nice partial save made by Nolan. Looking to see who got possession of that ball. I believe that was Sidney Gibbard, one of the captains. A little bit weak on the shot, but yet a nice play made by Nolan coming out and putting a paw on it. And it remains 1-1.
You know, I could argue that Kylie Daigle should have shot that there at the 18, but, you know, she sees things a little differently, and that was a fantastic ball to get her teammate in there for a dangerous chance.
Nikki Wisniewski now giving it over to Ellie Hawkey, the daughter of Bill Hawkey, head coach here for Pennington, as the ball will roll out of play. Back to Blair.
You can tell that goal by Pennington has had them settle in a little bit. They have there's not as much pressure on their back, and they're back to basically a 0-0 game here, and keeping possession and attacking as a unit.
Here's Avery again for Pennington. On the attack here in Blair territory.
Great ball.
Hawkey to Daigle. Daigle in the midfield now. A wild shot going away from the goal, a little bit high over the net.
And Tim, you said it exactly. She took herself away from goal there. It's almost like a fadeaway jump shot in basketball, right? It's tough to hit a hard and accurate shot fading away from goal.
So once again, Nolan. Pennington, though, nice defense keeping the ball on this end of the field. Going back to retrieve it. Near the Blair bench is Avery. Feed in the Hawkey. Offsides. Hawkey now back to Gibbard, and the offsides is called once again on Pennington. It's the third offsides call on the Red Raiders in this ball game.
I think Pennington is sensing that they're right there to get a second one here. They're pushing hard and putting pressure on this Blair defense, who's done a great job handling it, and they are doing a great job.
The aggression certainly is there, and so far for Blair, we haven't really seen them control on this end of the field. They've been almost, in a sense, making sure that they tighten up their defense and not so much going on the offensive.
Yeah, in the first half, it was a little bit like this, too. It took about 10 minutes for Blair really to get settled in and kind of figure out how they were going to attack them. So we'll see if that happens here in the next few minutes, that they start to pressure high and hopefully force some turnovers and get a counterattack.
Possibly a different strategy from David Mamouche Kalushvili, the first-year head coach for Blair, as they have it now on this side of the field. Pasternak will inbound, and it's deflected way out of bounds near the stands. So Pasternak again will throw it in. Looking to get it into her teammate near the center. That was D4. Once again, Pennington coming up with it, being tripped up near midfield and going down slowly is Kylie Daigle. She's still kind of slow to get up. Now she's limping a little bit for Pennington, and that's not a very good sign, as now she has the ball, but appears to be all right as she
plays a great ball.
places it up ahead to Avery. Avery 1-on-2, takes a shot. It's over the goalpost, no good.
Looks like Kylie's fine after that ball.
Nice feed.
It was interesting. The ref had the whistle up to his mouth and didn't blow it. I thought he was going to call a foul there.
Daigle does have 17 assists on the season. She almost had 18 there if Avery would have been able to make that shot. So about 10 minutes into the second half, I should say, we're tied up here at 1 here in the Prep A Girls Soccer Championship between Blair Academy and Pennington. Tim Catalfamo alongside Chandler Frazier-Pauls here for Play-by-Play Sports Network on a beautiful evening. Not too cold, temperatures in the 60s.
Well done.
And now once again on the attack, here comes Kylie Daigle.
Good switching fields. They're doing a great job being patient now in their attack.
Pennington keeping the ball on this end of the field inside Blair territory. Daigle with a feed to Wisniewski. And another whistle, and
I think we have an injured player.
Yep, you're right, Chandler. There does appear to be a player down near the midfield line. She's going to walk off under her own power. I believe that is Rebecca Grosseibel. She appears to be all right, though. Blair will have an opportunity to get the ball back as Emma Nolan, the goalkeeper, will try to boot it away here. And she does. Actually gives it over to Grosseibel.
So I just heard Coach Murphy Pennington say, Jaden, stretch it out. They're trying to get Jaden wide and into space. So they're attacking that. It's been clear that's been their focal point this half, is attack Jaden Avery in space with her speed and her pace.
Daigle was tripped up as she was moving her way towards the box. Pennington, though, keeping it on this end of the field as Blair has just had difficulty maintaining possession of the ball when they get a stop on defense.
Great turn.
Once again on the attack, here's Hawkey. Feed up to Avery. Shot on goal. Scored!
What a great ball from Jaden Avery. One time to lay it off to her teammate.
She gets it over to Hawkey, and Hawkey gets the goal. And now it is a quick 2-1 lead for Pennington. 2 unanswered points. Ellie Hawkey had 4 goals coming into this game this season. Now she's got 5. And Blair searching for some answers here. And if you're the Bucks, I would think that you are desperately trying to not let this game get too far out of hand.
Absolutely. At some point here, you need to start pushing forward. Try to get another goal, but you can't also at the same time get too stretched out and too desperate. You have 29 minutes left. You'll get other chances. It's just finishing those chances and playing your game.
So Blair will have the ball, and we'll see if they can do anything here, down 2-1.
It was a beautiful sequence leading up to the goal there. Ellie Hawkey. It's a great play.
Hawkey, the daughter of head coach Bill Hawkey. Stats really don't speak to her value on this team. She is incredibly quick and can play very well. In fact, here's Hawkey again on the attack, moving towards the box. Hawkey with a weak shot on goal. Actually, it's a pass over to Avery now on the other side of the field. Avery over to Sydney Gibbard. Nice defense there by Blair, kicking it out of play.
Blair's on the defensive here. Momentum is definitely swung in the Red Raiders' favor. Oh, shot.
Daigle with a high shot from center field. It's way over the back of the goalpost, and going back to retrieve it will be Emma Nolan.
We'll see if Blair starts to push a few more numbers forward here instead of playing so defensive.
And if you're Blair, again, we've talked about it, they've struggled to get into Pennington territory. And with the exception of that breakaway that Liv Miles was able to score in the first half for the Bucks, they really haven't had too much time on offense. That might change here, as here is Bevy DaCosta taking it into Pennington territory. DaCosta moving towards the center, loses it, and now it's taken away by the Red Raiders.
Well defended by Jordan Mahoney. And here's where Kylie Daigle's dangerous.
Hawkey near the center of the field. Nice feed to Gibbard. A little bit long for Gibbard. Now she shoots a little bit weak to from the right corner, and it's taken by Nolan. Almost looked like Gibbard was trying to give it off to somebody, and there was nobody there.
Yeah, absolutely. I think on that build-up, it took Pennington a little too long to make a decision on what they were going to do there. They held it. Got to be decisive on the attack.
Being fought for at midfield, that's Daigle. Squaring off with Alice. Ooh, Avery almost had a nice lead, but nice defense by Blair. Breaking up that pass was Megan Donaghy for the Bucks. But they'll stay here with Pennington. Again, Pennington, the reigning champions from last year. They beat Petty 1-0 to advance to the Prep A final just a few days ago.
Great ball. In the outside backs involved.
Here's McGrath in the far corner.
McGrath was the original starter at right back. She's had a kind of an injury-riddled season.
Shot on goal
Wow.
and scored right in the center. That is Nikki Wisniewski. And now the numbers really starting to pile on for Pennington as they go up 3-1.
What a one-time finish there. Wow. Great build-up. Got the center back, the outside back involved. Played it into Jaden Avery, laid it off. A magnificent finish. Wow.
So now Nikki Wisniewski, one of the junior midfielders, has got a goal along with Hockey. And the numbers, as I just said, continue to add up in the second half. That is 3 unanswered scores for Pennington.
And Nikki's a holding midfielder, so for her to get up into that position and be there, you know, that doesn't happen very often for her, so I'm sure she's pretty happy right now. That was a great finish.
So it's Avery, Hockey, and Wisniewski that all have 1 goal here in the second half. Again, Pennington was down 1-0 at halftime. They've now completely flipped the score around and lead by 2 as we're approaching 26 minutes left in this championship final.
It seems as if Blair is giving way too much time in the midfield for Kylie Daigle, Steph Blair, to turn and kind of see the field. That's where it's been dangerous here. Kylie's been just, you know, setting people up. Here she goes again. Great ball. She's in.
Daigle feeds it to Avery. Avery one-on-one. Has a clear lane and scores again. Emma Nolan went out to try to make a play on the ball. She really didn't have much choice. She had to. And for Avery now, that is her second goal of the second half, and it is Pennington now that leads 4-1.
Great composure by Avery there to take a touch around the keeper and finish.
Wow, where was this offense in the first half, Chandler? I mean, my gosh.
We said they were knocking on the door. Once you get that first one, it becomes a little easier. Let's see how Blair responds here. 25 minutes is a long time.
Blair definitely has to get something going here.
And that's what Blair had been doing in the first half there, putting pressure on the center backs, outside backs, and making them make mistakes out wide. So we'll see if we see a little more of that.
Here is Essie Pasternak. Feed inside. Nice defense there on the back end. Breaking the ball away. That was
this is where Blair's dangerous right here on corner kicks, set pieces. If you're Pennington, you don't want to give these up.
So it'll come from the corner, and kicking it in from the left near side will be Rebecca Grosseibel. This is something that Blair works on, and as you mentioned, Chandler very dangerous in. Grosseibel's feed is not even close, as that was Mooney who was able to get possession of it, but not the right shot. And once again, it rolls out of play.
With 25 minutes to go, you know, those are the chances you have to capitalize on, these corner kicks and set pieces. So we'll see if Blair can get a couple more of those going forward. Oh.
And I don't think Pennington was quite set there.
Yeah, it has to go outside of the box on a goal kick, and I believe Lucchese was right inside the box, so they'll let them redo it.
So it'll be Sofia Kavulich again. This time a much better kick. And if you're Blair, you have to keep it on this end of the field. I mean, I know that sounds basic, but that's something that just they really have not been able to do. It's really been Pennington that has been able to control the ball on the opposite end of the field inside Blair territory all afternoon long. Here comes Avery again. She's got 2 goals already. Another shot on goal is scored again for Avery. Make it 3 now for Jaden Avery.
Should I throw my hat on the field?
A hat trick.
Jaden Avery is so dangerous running across that back line and then slipping in for a through ball. And when you have a player like Kylie Daigle and Steph Blair on the midfield who can play those type of balls, it makes it even more dangerous.
So now Pennington leads 5-1. And I know that this is a stat that Blair at this time doesn't really want to hear, but Pennington did beat Blair on September 26th in the regular season 7-1. If Pennington keeps scoring like this, Chandler, we're on our way to possibly matching that score identical in this championship Prep A final.
Yeah, we'll see. We're definitely getting up there, though. The script is flipped here.
complete turnaround of the first half.
And you can tell just how Pennington is running and winning balls now. You know, confidence is there.
Gibbard in the corner. Now over to Avery. The St. Joe's commit. Nice defense there, taking it away. Here comes Kara Henry.
And this is where they were dangerous on counterattacks before, but it looks like Pennington is working back.
Being thrown down to the turf hard was Rebecca Grosseibel. Contact there with Avery. Grosseibel obviously frustrated because that was an opportunity to try to make a play on the goal. Blair does have the ball, but that's the second time that we've seen a questionable no call by the officials letting them play.
Yeah, absolutely. That was it was great work back by Jaden Avery, but you don't want to foul in those situations, or it could be considered a smart foul as they were on a corner on a counterattack.
Donaghy, shot in front. She was trying to time it with Liv Miles, and Miles wasn't on the same page. And if I will say this from up here in the booth, Chandler, it almost looks like Blair looks tired in a sense. They don't look like they have the same intensity. I understand you're down 5-1, but even when we started the second half, they didn't quite have that same intensity.
Yeah, I think defending for long periods of time as they did in the first half, even though they're up 1-0, that's tiring, So even being up 1-0, they were in good spirits, they were energized. It's tough to do that for 2 full periods, and once goals start falling the other direction, it doesn't help anywhere else.
So again, Pennington trying to repeat as Prep A champions in soccer. They have 13 titles total since 1994 under head coach Bill Hawkey. They won a record 10 titles in a row from 2004 to 2013. And then, of course, I mentioned all the other titles that they have had. So it's been an extremely impressive performance. And they are one of the premier soccer organizations on the women's side, known around the state. So Cafferty will inbound over to Gibbard, and the ball will once again roll out of play. On this end of the field, again, Pennington in the black with the red lettering, whereas Blair is in the white with the blue lettering. As we are now approaching 20 minutes left here in this second half, Pennington has completely flip-flopped this game. They were down to Blair 1-0 at the end of one half of play, and very quickly, Pennington has flipped the score totally around and leads 5-1. And now, if you're the Red Raiders, Chandler, you certainly don't want to take any chances here. You're just trying to drain as much clock as you can, as here comes Pasternak with a feed up to Miles. Blair trying to get something going here. Miles a little bit far away. She shoved from behind down to the floor on the turf. It'll roll out of play, but I think Blair will maintain possession, and they may have a corner kick, if I'm not mistaken here, Chandler, from the near left side.
Yep, they do, and I think if you're Pennington, you have to find that fine line now between still being aggressive but not getting too spread, right? So it's a hard line to find, but I think they know what they're doing. They've been in this position before.
So now Rebecca Grosseibel will tee it off from the far left corner. The feed inside is nicely defended by Daigle. And Pennington dodges that bullet. Blair is extremely dangerous on their corner kicks. And now here come the Red Raiders moving dangerously close into Bucks territory. And time's starting to become a factor here if you're Blair. They need a score, and they don't just need one, they need several. And they're just starting to run out of time slowly. Pennington has been extremely quick on defense, shutting down any opportunity Blair has had on this end of the field.
Yeah, Pennington is definitely happy just sitting in here now, letting Blair possess even in this midfield. As long as they're keeping them out of their third, they're fine.
Alice tried to feed it up to Melissa Grosseibel and was not able to get it to her in time, as Kavulich came out and made a play on the ball.
the story of two halves here, right? Pennington is so much more comfortable on the ball here. You know, that's what 5-1 will do for you, though.
Certainly they feel confident. They have reason to be.
Ooh. Great play by the keeper. Good read.
That was Kelly Collins with a little bit of a breakaway. There's Rebecca Grosseibel, center of the field, moving towards the box. Tried to dump it off to her sister, Melissa, and the ball rolls out of play. And that's really kind of been the second half in a nutshell for Blair. They've been so close yet so far and have just not been able to execute.
Yeah, in the first half, they were so confident on their counterattack, so confident going forward. That confidence doesn't seem to be there right now, and, you know, that's definitely affecting them. They're still working hard, though. Great ball by the keeper there. I've been very impressed with Sofia Kavulich in goal with her feet. You know, you don't get goalies all the time that can play with their feet and are trusted with their feet like that.
Kavulich had 11 shutouts this season, had 88 saves coming into this match. So she's been very impressive. Their feed this time is defended very nicely there by Williard and taken away. Pennington, though, still controlling it in Blair territory.
It's funny, in the first half, right, Blair was winning all those tackles that Pennington now is winning.
Yeah.
And it's just, the momentum is totally shifted.
Tim Kettlefamel alongside Chandler Frazier-Pauls, and Chandler's making his television debut today. So how you feel? You feel confident, feel comfortable?
You know, in the beginning I was a little nervous, had some butterflies, but you know what? I'm comfortable now. I'm eased into it, and I'm ready to go. I'll stay here all night.
You're on Play-by-Play Sports Network, closing in on the last 15 minutes of this game. Again, in the Prep A State Championship here for girls soccer.
Looks like Pennington's getting some subs in here with 15 minutes to go. They're a very deep team, too, so to be able to play, you know, everybody is in state championship is nice as well.
Controlling it now into Pennington territory, that was Carolyn Driscoll. She loses possession of it, and now taking it away for the Red Raiders is Molly Gibbard. Up ahead to Collins. Collins loses it out of play. But it's that intensity, it's that ball control, and it's just the overall dominance that we have seen from Pennington in this second half that Chandler, as you mentioned a moment ago, wasn't there in the first, but things have definitely flip-flopped in this second half. It's been incredible to see.
Whatever was said by Pennington and their coaches and players at halftime worked, so.
Maybe a fiery speech from Bill Hawkey definitely changed things.
We'll talk to him about that after, see what he said. I think the key word you could say for Pennington's has been patience. You know, they're so direct in the first half, as we said, over and over again. But here they've been more patient, and that's led to 5 goals.
Becca Gross-Seibel tried to feed it inside to one of her teammates. That was Emily Mooney.
Blair also plays a very high line defensively, and Pennington finally has found those balls over top that have been weighted correctly and have fallen in there. And you know, that space is always there. It's just about connecting.
We've talked about Bill Hawkey. We've talked about how impressive he has been for Pennington. And something that most recently happened back in May, both Hawkey and assistant coach Patrick Murphy were inducted to the Mercer County Soccer Hall of Fame. And I spoke to both of them before the game about that. They said it's a huge honor, but certainly when you've been together that long, of course, Murphy has been with Hawkey for a long time as an assistant. For almost 20 years, Hawkey has been here now for 32. It's definitely a nice payoff and certainly a nice way possibly to end off this year if they could come away with a title here.
Absolutely. I mean, I've seen, you know, I've been around Pennington, and I was actually at the induction ceremony.
Yeah.
It was a special thing for them. They've built a great program here, you know, that a lot of schools, you know, look up to, and it's what people want to be. And they've built it the right way, and it's been great to watch, and, you know, they deserve everything that's come their way. This Blair program to bounce back from a season like last year and be here and be winning 1-0, you know, that's all the signs of going in the right direction and building their own, great program, which I'm sure they've had in the past.
Yeah, they were 3-11 last year. They have a brand new head coach this year, David Mamouche Kalushvili, who doubles as an English teacher when he's not coaching women's soccer. But definitely an improvement, going 9-4 this season as opposed to 3-11 last year, making it to the final. This is their first final, as I mentioned, in the first half since 2012. So definitely a big rebound. Still some work to do, but definitely much improved over last year.
Absolutely.
And Pennington just trying to drain the clock.
Getting some more subs in here. Ellie Hawkey and Kylie Daigle coming off the field here.
Yeah. Hawkey, of course, had that goal in the second half. Kylie Daigle, while she hasn't had a goal, she's been close. As both of them now trot off the field. Getting a round of applause from the crowd here at Pennington.
You mentioned earlier Ellie Hawkey not getting all the accolades or the goals. She's, the glue to this and makes it go up front, and she's had a great, tremendous season.
Ball goes out of play right underneath us. Yeah, Hawkey only had 4 goals coming into this match. Now, of course, she has 5 to probably end off the season, 4 assists. But when you look at that from afar, you don't think, oh, that's necessarily all that impressive, but that really doesn't tell the story of how much she's a part of that offense, and we saw that today, especially early on in the first half.
Absolutely. I think the biggest thing with this Pennington team is that everyone plays their role, and that's what makes championship teams, when you play your role and know what your role is and accept that. And that's what this team's done, and they've, it looks like, closing on 10 minutes here, they'll have 2 championships, to come away with that. The Prep A State Championship and the Mercer County Championship.
So Kelly Collins will kick it off from the corner. It won't be a full-on kick, and certainly Pennington's in no real rush here. Fires it towards the center. A nice play made by Emma Nolan, the goalkeeper for Blair, who boots it away now.
You see 5 goals on the scoreboard, and, I think Emma Nolan in goal has had a great game for Blair.
Yeah. She necessarily hasn't always been helped up by her defense, especially in the second half. Blair has been very lax in allowing Pennington to be in their own territory, as there's some nice footwork here by Emily Mooney, which is now taken away by the Red Raiders. But, yeah, she has played very well. Had 54 saves, had 9 saves in the match that they had in the semifinals. Blair did against Oak Knolls, where they won 2-1 to advance to the state finals here against Pennington this afternoon.
You can definitely tell that Pennington has worn Blair down a little bit.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Their forwards are a little tired, and they were so good at high pressing and pressuring in the first half. That definitely did not come out the same way in the second half.
And the interesting thing in this first half, we were talking about Pennington and how they had opportunities to try to score. They weren't able to make it, as we have a goalie change here, as Sofia Kavulich will come out.
Sofia Kavulich put in a lot of work over the summer and dedicated herself to soccer here to do this, and she had a phenomenal season.
She certainly did play very well this afternoon. Filling in for her as the backup goalie for Pennington is Mary-Kate Cramley.
Freshman, very good basketball player. A big part of this team as well.
Clock continues to run. Under 10 minutes left here in this prep final. And again, you might be tuning in looking at the score and thinking, oh, this has been a blowout the entire way. No, this has really just been a second half spurt for Pennington. They trailed to Blair 1-0 at the end of halftime. But Pennington definitely got things started very early on in the second half. Got off to a fiery start. Led, of course, by Jaden Avery. No surprise there with 3 goals.
Great way for her to cap off her career here at Pennington.
The senior from Trenton, New Jersey. Talked about this. She is a St. Joe's commit. So she's obviously going to go on, and St. Joe's is getting a very talented player. Kristen Griswold controlling it now here near the center. Molly Gibbard now giving over to her teammate on the far right side, Sophia Petrone. Kelly Collins once again working it near the center.
Oh, strong tackle there.
That was Samantha Mazzoni, number 33 for Blair. Some more substitutions here for Pennington.
I think they're subbing all the seniors back on to sub them off here at the end.
Sydney Gibbard, one of the seniors, comes in. Coming out, Kelly Collins, who's a junior. She played very well this year. Certainly was very strong in this game. Also looks like Jaden Avery will come in for a couple minutes to finish out her career as a senior as well at the next opportune moment. Alexis Leopold now controlling it.
Still impressed by this Blair team defensively and with their discipline. You know, they had their game plan. They came out and did it. You know, they had a few, you know, it's tough to do that for 80 minutes, you know. But they, you know, they did a great job coming in here and fighting hard. And
certainly there are no moral victories, but they definitely held Pennington in check in the first half, and that was very evident.
Anytime you put yourself in position to win a game in the second half, you know, there's nothing to hang their heads about.
Jaden Avery checking in. There she is, 3 goals on the afternoon. She comes in for Molly Gibbard. So we're under 7 minutes left to play. Clock starting to wind down here for Pennington. Sydney Gibbard. Now to Leopold. Shaylin Tyrendi, number 9, was controlling for a split second. Now back over to Alexa Leopold in the corner. Sydney Gibbard being tripped up there. No call.
Ref's letting him play here towards the end of the game.
And I guess at this point, there's really nothing at this point to lose if you're Bucks. I mean, you want to certainly go strong, and maybe the officials are recognizing that Pennington does have this game in hand. But that is the second time we have seen a player be tripped up for Pennington that was not called.
Absolutely. If you're Blair, you just push forward, try to finish strong here.
Once again, here's Jaden Avery, who's come back into the game, fighting hard there on the far right side of the field with Stillerman. Avery still got possession of the ball. Over to Gibbard. Gibbard now over to Tyrendi.
Pennington doing a great job, just keeping possession here. Searching ball.
Shot there deflected and now booted away by Blair.
Well done by Gianna Lucchese. And a great ball.
Feet up ahead. That was Griswold who tried to get a shot, had it partially deflected. You mentioned Gianna Lucchese. She got injured earlier this year. She had a knee injury. She was out for 3 weeks, but now she's back, and she's, of course, playing very strong as one of the senior leaders, a captain.
Absolutely, and she's committed to Richmond. I think it did help this team grow without her for a few games, too, which was key in their success towards the end of the year here. So I think, you know, as much as it was hard for her, it did help this team in the long run because she is such a key part of this. They were forced to grow without her.
And we'll see, certainly at this point, Blair's a little bit out of range as far as the amount of time that is left, so I don't think there will be a rebound here, but if you're Blair, you certainly would want to try to use these last 4 less than 4 minutes now, 3.5 minutes, to try to get at least one more score on the board and try to finish out the season strong. They will finish number 2.
Yeah, just keep, here with, 3.5 minutes to go, you just keep playing hard. Push to the finish, and you play till there's 0 on the clock. Nothing else you can do.
Samantha Mazzoni now, one of the players that we haven't really seen too much in this game, but is now getting some minutes late in the going.
And here the seniors come off for both teams.
Hugs and high fives from Pennington, and some congratulatory high fives from some of the Blair seniors that are checking out.
The closing of one chapter, opening of another for a lot of these girls.
Yep.
They deserve a standing O.
Two and a half to play. Pennington now 2.5 minutes away from
Kylie Daigle
doubling up on their national championship. Another shot there for Daigle. She wants to get on the board before this game is over.
And she might.
One of the midfielder sophomores.
Energy definitely has lagged off here a little bit, It's been a fun game to be a part of.
Yeah, it got intense towards the end of the first half, and of course when we started the second half it was very intense. At that point it was a very close game. But in the waning minutes, as now we're under 2 minutes left to play, 1:50 to be exact. Our clock on our monitor is not exact. That is an unofficial time if you're watching at home. Nice ball control there by Kiera Cafferty. You don't think Bill Hockey gets tired of winning titles, does he?
I don't think that's something that he gets tired of. It's a good problem to have, I'd imagine. I think something we'd all like to be complaining about at some point for winning too many championships. Here's a good ball.
Feet up ahead, another offsides call on Pennington.
Well, Tim, as we bring a minute in here, I just wanted to thank you for having me on today.
Oh, no, it's been a pleasure.
A lot of fun.
Making your play-by-play Sports Network debut.
Absolutely. Maybe
Doing
you guys
some
will have me
great
back.
color commentary. Oh, yeah.
Maybe you guys will have me back at some point.
You got to talk to the man upstairs about that. But, yeah, absolutely. Did a great job making his debut, Chandler Frazier-Pauls. So, of course, we thank Chandler for doing some very nice work this afternoon and pitching in on the color end of things. Another shot there falls over the back of the net. Looking to see who took that shot. That was Sophia Petrone there for Pennington. The junior from Ewing, New Jersey, as we're under 10 seconds now to go. Pennington will repeat as the Prep A title girls soccer champions. They take down Blair Academy this afternoon 5-1. And a heck of a performance, a heck of a comeback too. They were down 1-0 at the end of halftime. And somehow in the end, as everybody storms the field, they pull it out in the end. 5 unanswered points for Pennington. Of course, Jaden Avery contributed very well, had 3 goals. Ellie Hockey, the daughter of head coach Bill Hockey in his 32nd season, had a goal in the second half. So just a very impressive overall performance for the entire team. They repeat as champions, now make it 14 titles all time since 1994. So just a very impressive performance. We will go down to the field to hear of course, the presentation of the trophy, as that is now being wheeled out around the midfield line. But again, Pennington, a 5-1 win this afternoon for Blair Academy. For head coach David Malush-Kalushvili in his first season. They finish on the year 9-5. They flip it, though, from finishing the year last year 3-11. So a much improved Blair Academy team. And they'll look to try to regroup next year, but certainly a very good performance and a very nice job this afternoon. Didn't make it easy, of course, on the Pennington Red Raiders, but they were nonetheless able to pull it out in the end. As again, we're waiting for the trophy presentation here.
Both teams over to the table, please. Give you a chance.
As let's send it down to the field now to hear the trophy presentation for the NJISAA Prep A state champions.
We got Mr. Ford.
Here is Jerry Uri.
First and foremost, let's have a round of applause for a great effort by both teams, the Blair Academy and the Pennington School. Thanks for a great contest. On behalf of the NJISAA, we want to present Blair with the runner-up trophies to their captains. Thanks for coming down here. Thank you very much. And now your Pennington Red Raiders. On behalf of the NJISAA, 2018 Girls Soccer A Division champions, captains, the Pennington School.
So Jerry Uri there, the Pennington Athletic Director.
Thanks for a great game.
Saying a couple of final words as Pennington comes out on top and repeats as state champions. Now the 14th title since 1994 for the Pennington School, and the Red Raiders once again victorious. You have to give it to Blair, though. They certainly tried. They had control in the first half, very much so. They, of course, had the one goal at the 25-minute mark of the first half by Liv Miles, one of the star basketball players on the women's basketball side for Blair. But in the end, it is the Pennington School getting the win 5-1 tonight here in the Prep A State Championship for girls soccer, winning 5-1. So for our director / cameraman / producer, Simon Rosenwasser, and of course my color announcer this afternoon, Chandler Frazier-Pauls, making his Play-by-Play Sports Network debut. I'm Tim Catalfamo. Thanks so much for joining us on Play-by-Play Sports Network. We'll see you next time. It's Pennington, the winner, 5-1 this afternoon.